Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AOE Overwatch week, I believe, 7 or 8. I've got no idea, I'll be personally honest. I'm joined tonight by Akiera.
Howdy.
And we're going to be commentating some, casting's probably the right word, some Overwatch, high-quality Overwatch gameplay. Today we have, I believe it's the Loot Box
Rangers versus
and
MGSharks. So
Hey.
blue team is our MGSharks and red team is our Loot Box Rangers. We are going to have our first point of temple control. So we're going to see how these teams start up. We look like we're going to see a dive versus a standard comp here, Hazzdaddy.
Yeah, no, it looks like we've got what seems to be I think, is that a 5 healer on the MGSharks? That's very interesting. I have not seen that in a while.
And here they come. They're going to just contest straight in, walking up. Reinhardt's going to be full so quickly. Heals not going to be coming through enough. And fortunately, the MGSharks are just going to be cleared out and pushed off this point. The heal's not going onto the priority targets here. Oh, and Anna coming in, going to be picked off. Zen as well, the stagger's coming through, and this is going to be a hard reset.
Yeah, Mr. Mweefel, I can't even pronounce that one for Loot Box Rangers there. McCree got that stun early on the Thoughtswan Reinhardt there, knocked his shield down, and they just went in hard there. The Loot Box Rangers knocked him out completely and basically just won them the fight straight away.
Yep, and it looks like they're going to go again, this time with just me Wither. Running on this D.Va, they're going to come in, and the Shatter going to be landed on nothing. McWiffle going to take out the Brig with the High Noon, and this fight is actually not too bad. Not many people are falling. Zen now going to pop out the Nano boosted D.Va, going to sit in this front line, going to be traded with the D.Va ult, going to take out T-Cake, and this looks like it's going to be another rout for the Loot Box Rangers here.
Yeah, they took that one back again. It was pretty interesting. I guess it was I think it was about 3 on once there used by the Rangers, the McCree, the Shatter, also the Zen ult coming out as well. Didn't really get many picks to begin with. It was actually a trade there from Mafia Monkey on the Moira ult, but in the end, just the sheer brute force of their pushing managed to get them the point back. We look at them on 70% now, and this probably might be the last push here for the Sharks to try and contest this one and keep this first point going.
And just me Wither has just gone back to Zenyatta, stopping off the D.Va. Shield. Oh, the McCree is going to ult again just to try and get this zone. Thos. Oh, huge McCree ult. 4K coming through. The shield not enough to hold it. And this is going to be another perfect route with just the McCree ult. MGSharks.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be actually able to make it back in time, and I don't think they will at all.
No.
So, very nice stuff there for the Loot Box Rangers, taking that first point. And Mr. Weasel on the McCree there, getting some nice kills and a very nice ultimate there as well. It was interesting. The Brig, it was actually a nice sleep from the Anna, the Jevi Anna on Sharks, knocking down Devental on the Brig over on the Loot Box Rangers. Got her to sleep, and she just popped her ultimate as well, but they missed Mweefel. And it was just good props to the rest of his team, knocking down the shield and getting 3 picks there on the High Noon. Basically just ended the fight instantaneously. And yeah, I'll be looking to try and continue this on here.
It was most unfortunate that all gathered behind the shield. Each McCree shot does indeed fire, and if there's a shield in the way, it's going to hit the shield first. And, 6 McCree High Noon shots into that shield. I don't care how much health it had at the start, it's going to fall. Anyway, we're coming in. We're going to see a high ground push from the MGSharks. They're going to sit up on top, though Loot Box Rangers do have the point. And it's just going to be a nice little brawl up here, and a bunch of poke. Though Jevi getting caught down this back by this Genji. McWaffle on the Genji just sitting on top. He might be a little bit caught out, though, as the rest of the team does come in. Cap coming through. They do have to contest very shortly here. Alright, and the fight is continuing. It looks like just a whole lot of... No kills have come through. The healing is very well thing. Jevy in the backside, getting really low, 1 health. The bio grenade gonna keep him up, and the Genji's gonna fall instead. First kill of the fight. Lost wound, and then TK going to be taken down on this backside. This does look like it might end up being a rout here, Hazzdaddyslim.
Yeah, they've been heavily reliant on that Ryan so far, the Sharks, and each time he's gone down, even though they did get the first pick there, it was a very nice pick there from Prime X, actually, from the Brig, but unfortunately, the moment the Ryan went down, they just really fell apart, and also a few late kills there, especially Martha Monkey, is going to stall them for at least another 10 or 15 seconds, so that's it's not very useful for them at all.
Oh, though we are seeing another adaptation here. They are actually running proper goats now, and not this 4 or 5 healer comp that they have been running. They're going to take this high ground. D.Va's going to be really late to this, though. This might be a premature push. Going to get knocked down by... Oh, look at that hamster angle. The rally going to be popped, and not too much else. They're not going to hard engage. They're just going to pop the rally, try and get the shields up. Though Primex might be a little overextended. More ults getting popped. That was the Lucio in response to the Graviton Surge. Now, oh, even more ults. Genji getting popped in this backside, chasing down this Ana. Ana going to not go down. Finally getting picked up by this Genji. Genji now going to chase down T-Cake on this Lucio. And not really going to get it. He's going to move to an easier target, going to focus on Mafia Monkey on the Saya. Eventually going down, and the only person left that can really touch is just me with on the D.Va. No, sorry, I stand corrected. Primex on the point as this Brigade. Not going to do too much against 5 members of the Loot Box Rangers.
Yeah, and again, another 100 to 0% there. They take the control ones pretty easily. The Rangers, they'll be pretty happy with that one. And it was basically came down to, it was a nice ult there from the Zarya on the Sharks side. But then the other ults have popped up, and as we see this McCree ult again, shield just goes down at the wrong time.
That was the 6 shots into the face of the shield. That's... I mean, you can't really group against that. If they had the D.Va there, rather than swapping it back off to the Zen, I think they could have actually taken that point there.
Yeah, so it's been the Sharks, of course, playing what there at the end was goats, but it's been pretty interesting because they've started off with the 5 healers and the Ryan, which is something I don't think I've seen at all in my time casting and playing. And the moment it didn't work because the Ryan just got taken down instantly. They straight away went into the switch, it would then turn into the 4 healer, 2 tank, and yeah, well, from there, I guess they just haven't really had enough damage. They've managed to keep themselves in the team fights for a fair amount, but on the other side of things, Deventor and Mr. Mawishal have just been killing it so far, and on the DPS side of things, getting decent damage, especially on the McCree. The stuns have been quite good. And yeah, I mean, really, I don't know if the Sharks have any DPS players on their side. I'm guessing they probably do. We're probably testing out the GOATS comp there to begin with. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's going to be any changes on this second map.
Though this is not the place to be trying out new stuff. This is where you should be showing what you've been practicing in scrims or in comp. And that's kind of what I expect to see. So maybe they actually have been having success with this 5 healer strat. But they just seem to be lacking the damage. And the Loot Box Rangers supports are having really, really well-timed ultimates. I've seen the Lucio ults, I've seen the Zen ults, and they have come through exactly when the MGSharks have been pushing and when they have been popping stuff. It doesn't seem like they're popping ults entirely unnecessarily.
No, most of the ults that the Rangers were popping, and that they sort of comboed about 2 or 3 together each time. And they were really good in their supportive ults, the Lucio and the Zen ones. Whenever the Sharks looked like they had a bit of momentum, they had a chance to win the team fight, one of those would come out, bring it back to an even fight, and then from there, the Rangers were just able to take the fights, win the points fairly easily. But we do move to a escort map, so it'll be interesting to see if there's going to be any changes on either side, and whether the Sharks might be a bit more comfortable here on this escort map, as they look like they will be defending first.
That they will be. And from the looks of it, they're going to be running hybrid dive. That's setting off a couple of alarm bells in my head. The May with the Winston Diva. Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
I think it possibly could be a My Goats comp, which is something I have seen a bit of, and also they're taking their sweet time to get there. They've only got 5 seconds, and 3 of their players are nowhere near the actual starting bit.
Alright, and there we go. We have actually got the Goats comp again from the side of the MGSharks. And we look like we are going to run a dive with the Widowmaker for the Lootbox Rangers. I am really looking forward to seeing what AAOL can be doing on this Widow. Hopefully shots are coming through. Primix on this Brig going to get taken out really quickly. Mafia Monkey might be in trouble here as the Lootbox Rangers get all over him. The huge nano grenade coming out from Jivy and keeping him up and nearly taking down 2 members. Unfortunately, in the backside though, DP Stanley going to be trying to take out this backline. TK going down. Jimmy might be in trouble here. And no, Anna will get out just in time. Though they are free pushing the cart here, Hazzdaddyslim.
Yeah, they've already pushed the cart a fair amount. They're getting the picks they want, and Diviantool's just sitting there loving life. No one's getting near him at all, really. And the thing is, I'm not sure whether the Sharks wanted to be spread out, but I really wouldn't have thought that would be what they'd want to start off straight away on the defensive side. They all were sort of in different positions, and in the end, it just really hurt them. And a couple stuck in their old spawn as well is not going to help.
That's the most unfortunate. These guys, they're living dead. They should just stop running around, stop trying to live, and just die. Try and get them collaborative respawns. And look, they are running back into spawn all together. This is actually quite a nice regroup.
Yes, but while that is happening, the cart's already moved halfway through this second point, so Sharks need to contest this now and just take some time off the clock, because right now it's not looking good.
Though they don't even have ultis to contest this. If you look on the side of the Lootbox Rangers, they're sitting here with 5 ults. Look, there's the Nano Boost getting popped in, but is that going to be enough? The Diva ult is going to come through, actually not find anything though, so this might actually be a winnable fight for them. Primix unfortunately going to get taken out, though Frostbone and now Mafia Monkey popping this whole hog. We're going to see the Zenyatta ult come over to cancel the Genji's blade, and it's going to keep both healers alive. They're still chasing Jivy, and he's going to go down, unfortunately. And T-Cake, Primix going to save out his nice Zenyatta. No, never mind, I spoke too soon. DPS Stanley is going to finish that one.
Well, the 2 ults coming in again, so
yep.
So they really want to push this.
Yeah, both monkeys just swinging around. They really want this fight, and they want this to be the final fight to take this second point. Ult's getting popped, Mercy is popped, and Deventool, I'm surprised, isn't doing as much damage as I'd really expect on this Widowmaker. Entirely uncontested, and people just aren't dying.
Yeah, I mean, that might come down to the healing, or the fact that he might just be missing a few shots, but really good stuff there from the Sharks. They looked at trouble a bit there as, that Diva Bomb, or it's going to take down the Winston, which is going to be a bit of a problem. And just as I was saying, it was working out. It might be going a bit downhill.
Here comes Primix's ult though, and this is now 2 ults getting popped. Just with me have going to take out Cess, Lucio, and the Nano Boost is going to be taken out. And Primix is going to get stuck in a 1 vs 3. Going to take the Diva out of mech and finish her off, but will die in the process. Now it's just Mafia Monkey and T-Cake on point. Whole Hog's coming down, going to get reflected out by this Genji. Seth though on this Lucio might be taken out. 1 health left. No, he's going to. No, it is going to be the left leg. Wait, was that the C9?
That was a sleeping Winston just pushed the car to the. That's quite unfortunate for the Sharks there. And that fight just went on for ages. Like, no one really sort of won it out. It was going back and forth, and I guess the Rangers just managing to pull back and forth, and Rhoda Mafia is going to get picked out there as well.
Oh no, Thost,
what are you
doing? So deep, jumps into 6 members of the Lootbox Rangers. Sights will be popped. They do know where everybody is. And now just 1 pick from this Widowmaker, and this point could be taken.
Yeah, and there's still really nothing being done about the Widow as all. There's been a couple of times that Thoughts has tried to jump her, but really hasn't worked out too far as he does try it again.
Oh, Primac's going to be taken down. T-Cake getting up, beaten, and going to be now taken down by this Winston.
And that's trade.
Seth's going to pop the pick. They're now popping ults. They want this to be the last fight. They're going to sit in the spawn door, making sure that they cannot contest. Just have me. The D.Va are going to ult out to stop, just to buy a little bit of time. More ults getting popped out. They're going to regroup under this Zenyatta, hopefully to try and do anything to try and salvage this point. Another D.Va ult getting popped down, going to take out T-Cake on the Zenyatta, and AAOL still sitting in this back line, entirely uncontested. And now we're going to see the stall start coming through. Mafia Monkey jumping onto this Mei, going to freeze out the D.Va just to try and buy time. And this actually might be a full... This looks like they actually have a chance out. They've got all 6 members back on point, not staggered anymore. This could be a full hold.
Yeah, no, the staggers have been pretty good so far from Sharks. There's another few ults come in though.
Yeah, the Genji Blade and the Lucio beat getting popped. Jevy and TK going to get popped down in the back side. The wall not going to do too much, and neither is the D.Va Bomb, unfortunately. So we are just seeing what looks like now a very, very messy team fight. It doesn't look like there's a lot of
Debbie
focus.
until starting to hit some shots as well, still being uncontested, and now that looks like they're going to finish that off as well.
These team fights are so messy, Hazzdaddyslim. They don't seem to be focusing the same targets, and as a result, people are dying that really shouldn't from the side of the Loot Box Rangers.
Yeah, well, on both sides, really, it seems like a lot of things could be going a lot better for... I guess for Sharks, the problem was there. I think they were winning most of the team fights they were involved with there. It was they just weren't winning them completely. They'd get the few picks, but then one of theirs would die. And the Loot Box Rangers, I give them credit, they didn't stop. They didn't let up. And that's why they still have a minute 43. And really, I thought the Sharks actually might stop them at some point. That second point push was quite unfortunate. I mean, really, they were just too focused on everyone else. The Winston gets slept onto the payload, pushes it forward. They've got no idea about that. It's unfortunate. But it just happens, I guess. And it looks like we might be seeing goats on both teams. Now, this is what everyone came to watch.
Oh, the goats. The fights that never end. Though we do have, for the side of MGSharks, we do have the double DPS. So it's not goats. It's just dive.
It looks like it's basically a swap of what was being played last round. The Genji and the Widow.
Yeah, though they don't. Yeah, they don't really need the Lucio though. You could be running an Ana, you could be running a Mercy. At the moment, who's Lucio going to be really healing with? Either he's going to be in the front line with the Winston D.Va, but he can't get on the high ground at the same speed that they can. So,
well, maybe there's something they know that we don't, because this is a very interesting pick. Because they've also got Zen, so there's not huge amounts of healing on their side at all, really.
It isn't. So we got to see how long the MGSharks do actually stay alive here, especially when these members start calling for healing.
Oh.
Alright, so at the moment we are seeing the free push come out from the MGSharks. This is really, really good. They're not really killing them per se, but they're distracting them long enough just to get free push. Look, the Winston and, Brigitte now only just starting to see where the cut has ended up. And that's also a really late drop here from the Loot Box Rangers.
Yeah, as they started to get a few picks there. It started off with Wab, who got the 2 picks on the Loot Box Rangers healers, and that basically opened it up for the Sharks to get a good push in. They're going to be pushed off now, but I think they'd be pretty happy with that first one. Still with a 2 minutes 50 on the clock, so they basically just want to be building up some ult charge at this point. And we have... Let's see if we can get in a decent position to get some more picks. So I'll be wondering if the Rangers will be trying to focus him as, well, I mean, last time there was a Widow out in the field. There wasn't really much focus on her at all.
Yep, so let's see if just me with Av going to just get that free reign that Devonhall did have last point. Though, what I'm going to say here, Hazzdaddyslim, this is probably the worst place, like the most defensive place. Never mind getting cut off. Genji getting bladed out, going to take out both healers before going down. This could be a fine winnable fight here if they can do anything with it. But no, the trade kills coming through. Will they be able to keep this fight going? Just no, Windu is going to go down. Jivy, you need to get out of there. You need to leave. You're going to get yourself staggered. And yes, he is going to get himself out just in the nick of time with 40
The thing is,
left.
they do have the numbers advantage here, Rangers, but then, the David D-Mac, that's going to have to hold them off for another few. So, although Thoughts just jumps right in with his ult.
Yep. Oh, and Premix is going to walk straight to that D-roll. Most unfortunate. Thosloon are going to take it Emily in the backside on this. And, oh no, don't try and 1v1 the Brig, Winston. Don't try and 1v1 the Brig. It's never a good idea. Brig will out-heal your damage. You have a Feather Duster. Oh.
And once again, it's just that hold from the Rangers. They're just so good at that. You think the Sharks are going to be able to push it through. They get a couple of picks in, and then the Rangers just respond immediately. And also the Sharks, they weren't really focused on the point there. The Thoughts jumped in the back lines trying to get rid of one of the healers. He got the Zen, which was a good pick, but then it was all up to just Genji sitting on the point. And unfortunately, he can't do much when he's got no healers or any supports around him.
So I think it's just a slight team comp issue here and a focus. Okay, we're going to see DPS going to be getting this nano boost, going to be jumping in, chasing it down this Lucio. Lucio is purple, going to be taken out. But it's going to be a trade kill as they now have a Hanzo. The Dragon's going to be pushing across this point. Zenyatta going to be popping as well as the Brig ult. That is a slight misplay. Both support ults getting popped there, and you're not going to get most use out of both of them. Thost,
yeah, and I think also the D.Va managed to eat up the ult there of the Hanzo, and it's just not looking good at all here for Sharks.
Yeah. It looks like a bad case of the regrouping. The D.Va ult going to get popped on point, though Jivy on this now ball, going to try and just stall as much time as he can. Going to get taken down, and now it's just all on Premix. Nah, most unfortunate.
And once again, the Rangers, they get a 3-0 there, but I don't feel like they really dominated that from start to finish. Like, there were points there where the Sharks had domination, and I feel like they probably should have gotten to that first point, but in the end, the Rangers just do it easy.
Yeah, there are a couple of, like, the Lucio raised question marks for me there. It didn't help anything they had. It was just kind of on his own, like, doing Lucio things. If they'd had the Ana, if they'd had the Mercy, I reckon it would have been a lot better. They'd have had consistent healing and a lot more healing. And so when these plays happened, the Genji Blade, you could have nanoed up and followed up. And the 2 kills could have been... And just a little bit more combo and coordination, and these fights could have been so clean. They lasted long, but with more coordination, you could have ended them faster, and that results in less chance to misplay.
Yeah, and I feel like the thing was there that I noticed a bit there from the Sharks. Every time that they sort of got a push forward, one of them would sort of jump out of position and go after someone in the back line, so one of the healers. I think Thoughts was doing that a bit, and he was probably getting the picks.
Yep.
But then they'd sort of just all get separated. It happened on the defense as well, which is where they fell apart in that first point. They were all just separated about. They weren't really closing as a group. While the Box Rangers, they've been a lot better at sort of being grouping together and picking their targets. And if they do go into 1v1, and they've got the abilities to make sure they get out of there quick smart.
Yep. Like, the dive, like, leaving your supports to die in a dive situation isn't the end of the world. But in saying that, you have to make sure that you kill their supports faster than they kill yours. If you can trade supports, that's fine. But your ones need to live longer than their ones. So, and yes, they're getting both supports. But what are they trading for it? They're trading both of their supports that died even faster, so they had less healing, and they also lost another member of their team, be it the Winston, be a 3v4. It's hard to win unless you have ults, and they didn't. They just kind of sporadically threw them out and didn't try and combo things. So I think team comp and positioning might be the biggest issues here for the Sharks.
Yeah, well, and because really most of the team fights they've had, I feel like they've been even enough. There's not anything that's, to me, suggesting that the Rangers are miles ahead of them. Like, there's been some good plays from a couple of their DPS players, and when they've group fight they've probably had more coordination. But I mean, the Sharks haven't not been terrible.
Yeah,
and I feel like they probably know that they can give these guys a run for their money. And it also looks like they've brought in a sub. I think Magisk has come in. I'm not sure who he actually replaced, but I think it might have. Go back through. Weather got replaced by Magic's over on the Shark side, so interesting to see what he'll be picking up.
Though I do entirely agree with that statement, Hazzaddy. Individually, these players are on a very, very similar level. If you watch the individual play, both teams' members have been popping off individually. It's just the coordination and the teamwork, I think, that is lacking.
Yeah, and that might come down to the loot box Rangers might have been together for longer. They've had more scrims, had more time to practice. Because we don't actually know what these guys have been doing beforehand. So it's hard, and it's hard. I don't want to be criticizing any of these guys because they all seem like decent players, and they're all better than me. So.
Yep. Though now we are going to see the 2CP, the dreaded 2CP. With how messy these fights have been, do you think this actually might be the Sharks' way back into this? Because these fights have been going on for so long and stalled for so long. If they can stall these for quite some time, I think this might be their map.
Yeah, I feel like they probably feel a bit more confident on a map here, but I mean, the thing is, they've got to make sure they defend this well. They've got to make sure they get their picks.
That Orisa Holt just pulled off and kept them all together. That was a huge play from Magisk right there. Though they are going to have to get on this point quite quickly. McWiffle going to take out Mafia Monkey on the Hanzo and going to live through this. And now it's going to be a retake scenario, unfortunately, for the Sharks.
And again, the Sharks got those early picks, and then the loot box Rangers just immediately traded back on them, and they look like they're probably going to take this point as well, which is quite unfortunate because I felt like the Sharks, they got the 2 early picks, they're like, they can definitely hold this one, and now all of a sudden they're down already, Thotswani and Tea-Cake, and they're getting pushed back, and although that's probably going to stop them in their pass there.
That was a huge misplay from Mr. Mfwako. If they still had this blade and he was still alive, this could have been the point in 6 minutes. But I
sort of understand why he did pop it. He was trying to chase them, get a new few early picks so they could just push straight in. But good picks there from Jebby as he gets another one that goes down immediately as well. So it's back to another 5v4.
Yep, and this does look like it could be the fight for the Sharks. They are going to look like the holders. They've taken 2 picks. The loot box Rangers have staggered. They need to wait for their team members to get back before going in.
Yeah, decent stagger for them. Also, Divine Fall
Seth
over on the Doom side has just popped around to the
they're
right.
going straight in and a 5v6 here. No, there's a 5v5. Seth's going to pop, and same with they're going to double pop the support ultimates yet again in response to absolutely nothing. They're not comboing properly. We're just going to get this Nano and start zapping away on the Winston. And it looks like he's going to be not really taking anything or doing too much damage. Slothspoon are going to pop the whole hog, but get taken down by Snakeboy on the Stever.
Yeah, it's like they're popping ults just to keep themselves in the fight. There's no real coordination to try and get kills with them. It's just to stay alive.
It is, and it doesn't seem like to combo anything, because they had so many ults that they could have used together. Where's the combo? They have Mafia Monkey on this Hanzo, and what's keeping people in the grab? You need the grab to keep them in the Hanzo ult. Though it looks like he's getting taken out by the Genji here with the blade, And that looks going to be a clean up fight. No, we're going to have the Winston trying to recontest. No, he's going to get pushed off by the Primal Rage.
Yeah, and really there was... Jebby was getting good picks there for the Sharks, keeping them in the team. He was getting the early picks, and once again, the Sharks, they get the early picks on the fights. But I don't know whether it's just that they slightly overextend or then the loot boxes just then all push in as a team, but they then just proceed to lose them, and I guess it'd probably be quite frustrating for them because they feel like they get on top on these fights and then they just sort of throw it away.
I do have to probably chalk this down to grouping issues. That's like, yes, they have the numbers advantage, but it's not a numbers advantage if you split up. If you put one person by themselves, it's now 5v5 again. And
yeah, and it was sort of like they're going for those, I'd say maybe like hero plays really, when they've got like a 6v5 and then one of them just decides to run in really for no real reason, and then all of a sudden that advantage that they once had is just gone.
Yeah. See, I do really like Lootbox Rangers team comp here. They have Mr. MF1. he's just you know, lighting himself on fire just a little bit. Anyway, I really do like the comp they're running here. They have the Hanzo Dragon combo. They have the Lucio to try and shut down whatever the Sharks do throw. And they've got the Mercy, which is actually quite a huge pickup on a 2CP map, especially for the first point. If you get picked out by, let's say in this case the Mafia Monkey on the Widowmaker, well, you just put a shield up and res your team member. So I do really like the team comp coming out here from the Lootbox Rangers. The Sharks, dive, yep, I like it. And this is probably one of the best team comps that we've seen them come up with this far.
Yeah, so that Anna Grenade's going to have to be pretty useful because it's just going to be Mercy focusing with Jebby, and then the rest are all just going to be grouped together. Oh, that's a nice boop as well, splitting them up immediately.
Yep, and they're going to go straight into the point. Straight into the jaws of the Lootbox Rangers. And that is going to be the first person going down. Jebby going to be taken out by the hit scan Hanzo. Now, Mr. McGuff, we're going to jump up into the high ground and assassinate Matches from the Farah. And that's most unfortunate. And they now just have to recall. Mafia Monkey now got picked off by the Ash. This can't be happening. You guys have to call the fight lost.
Yeah, this just keeps keeping it keep happening that they just...
Thost. Look at the diva. Oh, that is the most unfortunate thing I've seen in a while. They're just keeping him alive. Thost, you need to die. There you go. And Magisk. Oh, that is the second wave of respawns. They just wasted.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate there, but they just seem to push in there, the Sharks, and they didn't need to. And they're making the fights go longer than they have to. I'm not really sure why they're continuing to fight when it's a 2v6 or a 3v6. Just die or just run away and try and get together so you can then push in again.
Yep. Pushing in 6v6 is the way to win this game. Forcing a fight every time you're at 6 is the way you win. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. And we haven't even seen dry runs, really, from either of these teams. Every time a fight happens, they just go hard in. Oh, and no.
Again, it's just teams. The two supports with the McCree, and everyone else is split up. They're just 3 there and 3 in the other direction. They lose another healer. It's just all over the place at the moment for the Sharks.
Mercy's sitting on point by herself. And both tanks still trying to fight this. What are they doing? Alright, Thoth's now gonna get taken out, and are they just gonna leave? They're gonna leave the mini diva.
Yeah, it could just be another diva still at it, and it most likely will be, yeah.
Oh, finally going dead. So what kind of swap ups would you like to be seeing here, Hazzdaddyslim?
Well, I personally don't think there's much wrong with what I'm seeing. It's more the fact that they just seem to be separating themselves for no apparent reason. Just group up as a 6, try and get into those big team battles. And I guess that's kind of hard because they do have the dives in the Diva and I guess also and Primax on the Winston. And Jebby can't really follow them, and neither can Tak. And I can understand Tak hanging back as the Anna, but I would think that the Jebby should probably switch up to maybe a dive character, just on DPS it.
No, I entirely agree with that one. And it looks like we're going to see ult stun get popped. Mercy's going to pop the Valkyrie. It is going to run out now. And are we going to see anything else popped along with it? No, it's just going to be the solo Mercy ult. no one's going down, though a lot of the members of the Sharks are now very, very low. And there it is, Primal gonna get popped to keep Primex up. But, oh, Jimmy now gonna pop out and gonna take out 2. That is 2 down for the Box Rangers. This could be the fight. Mercy's gonna pop her ult for the Box Rangers. And there is another trade kill onto Mafia Monkey, overextending on the Doomfist into the 1v3 in the back side. Ana gonna pop onto the Winston here, and Winston is going to take out this Mercy. Mercy going down. Is this going to be another? This is going to be 2. No, it's going to be the Divi Bomb breaking out shields, and that's going to leave Winston high and dry.
And I think that might also be it, because there is just Mafia Monkey left on the point.
Overtime coming through, and that is going to be no one else going to be able to touch. It's going to be the 0-2. Unfortunate.
And I think that's the game as well. 3-0 Rangers. They do it quickly. And
yep.
I guess I'm just sort of speechless about some of the stuff I've seen here. And like, I feel like the Sharks have probably lowered their colours a bit, because they really I would assume a lot better than this. But I mean, full credit to the Rangers. They really just dominated from start to finish. Everyone played their part well. The communication was there, the grouping, the ult combos, everything was just working well.
Yeah. Though I must say, I respect the 5 healer comp. I really do, and I'm actually glad to have seen that.
Yeah, that was something that I don't think I would ever see, a 5 healer and 1 Reinhardt comp, but here we are.
Hey, I reckon that could have worked in that first fight. Unfortunately, the Ryan got flashed and shield went down, and not even all the healers could keep him up. I think that first fight could have worked.
It could have, but yeah, the moment the Ryan went down, and they didn't really want to then go for it again, they decided to go the second tank. And yeah, so probably a bit to think about for the Sharks. They'll go away from this. They'll probably watch over a lot of the stuff. I think they'll probably have to work on their grouping and just sort of team coordination. And I think that's stuff that just comes over time. The more they play, the more they'll get better at it. Rangers, I mean, there's probably a few things they need to fix up here and there. Was that second map on attack? There was a couple of times, a couple of team fights they could have done differently here and there. But, I mean, overall, it was... I don't think they're going to be too fast. And it looks like we're joining another game here with no players.
Yeah. No, I gotta say, Hazzdaddyslim, from that, I think the biggest takeaway that they can do is they kept double ulting. It wasn't terrible because it was the Brig Lucio, the Brig shield coming under the Lucio barrier, so it was getting actually added up. But there were a couple of times where they Brig Zen ulted. That's a no.
Yeah, which is I mean, I guess you could say they possibly wasted too many ults, and that's probably not even a bad thing in some circumstances. Like there was one that last fight that didn't actually achieve anything, was the Ryan Shatter, the Zarya ult, and the Hanzo ult all in one, and got absolutely no one. But it was still good to see that kind of, I guess, combos coming through. Yeah. So they have a good idea of what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Though it just looks like their play just needs to be cleaned up as opposed to vastly improved.
Yeah, I think they'd be pretty happy with how things went tonight. Sharks, I guess I wouldn't say there was individual performers on their team. I think everyone on their team probably did their part when they needed to. It's just, I guess the Rangers just were a better team comp. Like, that's all I can say, because I don't think the Sharks are that bad. Yeah. I really don't. But I mean, tonight just wasn't their night. I don't know what, some stuff went wrong here and there. A couple of fights didn't go their way, and yeah, full credit to the Rangers. I've got not much else to say, really. It's just a dominating performance.
All right. Well, if you've got nothing else to say, thank you for tuning in for the AAOL. I think week 8. Next week we will have yet more games. Same time, same place. I've been Akiera, one of your casters. We have had Hazzdaddyslim as the other. And I'm going to say a great thank you to our brilliant host as well for tonight, our streamer, Rox. Thank you very much. And thank you for everybody tuning in and all the players for the brilliant entertainment we have seen.
It was all good fun. So good night, ladies and gentlemen. We are signing off now, and just so you all know, I'm already Tracer.